Good morning. On behalf of ICICI Securities, I would like to welcome you all to the Q1 FY24 earnings call with Power Grid Management, discuss the company's business and share the performance outlook. Today, we have the entire senior management team of Power Grid. It's my pleasure to welcome and introduce Mr. Keshri Khan, Chairman and Managing Director, Mr. G.
Good morning.
Ravishankar, Director of Finance and CFO,
Morning.
Mr. Avesh Chaudhary, Director Projects,
Yeah, good morning.
Mr. R.K. Tyagi, Director Operations.
Good morning, all.
I would now request the CMD sir to make the presentation and the opening remarks, subsequent to which the floor will be open for Q&A. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Mohit. A very good morning to all the participants. Welcome to the Q1 23-24 call. I'll make an initial brief presentation, following which I'd be open to answer your questions. So this is a very brief overview. I think the only change you will find is the number of subsidiaries. More TBCB companies have been acquired, so the subsidiaries are at 37 now, and we remain the third largest CPSC by far in terms of gross block. Next, please.
Was it changed?
It's not moving. Yeah. As on date, our transmission assets are 1,74,000 circuit kilometers, 274 substations with over 5 lakh MVA of transformation capacity. We have 18 HVDC substations, 62 765, 163 400 kV substations, and our system availability is in excess of 99.75% consistently over the years. Next. Major highlights of this Q1, we have 2 TBCB projects, one for renewable energy integration from Anantapur and Kurnool, and the other for RE evacuation from Rajasthan. These are having levelized tariff of about 341 crores. Another 3 projects for which bids we have submitted are under evaluation, and we expect them to be taken up for e-reverse auction shortly. Next, the smart meter project has taken off. We have received the order from Gujarat. We have been talking about this for some time now. This has 69 lakh meters, and over the next 2.25 of a year, we will implement this, and having an investment of about 4,067 crores. Yesterday, the board also approved the investment in our 85 megawatt solar project at Nagda. So in the next 10 months, we will implement this project. This is for captive consumption as well as sale through exchange. About 180 million units of energy is expected to be generated from this project. Next. Now, the project execution this quarter, we have completed 2 substations and 1428 circuit kilometer of lines. The Power Grid Bikaner transmission system, which has Bikaner pooling station as well as the Bikaner Khetri Bhiwadi transmission lines. This is the major system which has been commissioned. Meerut Simbhaoli, almost out of 4 elements, 3 are commissioned, but 1 element due to ROW at 1 location is struck up, but that is also expected to be, there is a court case, so we expect it to be completed shortly. 4,435 MVA of transformation capacity, primarily at Badla and Bikaner for RE evacuation. This is the physical progress in terms of projects. In terms of our financials, CapEx has been, next slide, 1,506 crores in the quarter. 1,615 crores is the capitalization on a consolidated basis. Next. In operational performance, this quarter 99.86% has been the availability. Last year, same period 99.79% on an average. So slightly better performance this quarter. Trippings also have reduced to 0.09 compared to 0.12 last year. Financial performance, our revenues on a consolidated basis have been 11,258 crores this year in the first quarter, and the profit has been 3,597 crores compared to 3,801 crores in the corresponding period last year. Going forward, I'll briefly highlight the reason for this decrease. Next. So the consultancy services, if you see, this is a breakup which you would have seen from the results published. Consultancy services, there has been a reduction from 233 to 121 crores. Primarily the project, large project we have been executing for the government in Northeast is coming to an end, therefore the revenues are tapering down. Telecom is up 15% and yeah, that is the major highlight. The other is interest in this quarter has up by about 15%. Compared to last year, there has been significant increase in the rates of interest due to floating rate interest loans. Next. This is the consolidated number in the same direction. I won't spend time on this. Next slide. Gross fixed assets are 2,70,000 crores and capital work in progress is about 14,000 crores today. Debt equity has significantly improved from 62 to 38 to 59.41 in the current quarter. Yeah, some of these numbers would be of interest to you. Last year we had 351 crores of previous year sales in the quarter. This is now only 214 crores on the back of finalized tariff orders. This 22-23, more than I think nearly 90% of your income has been through final tariff orders. So the adjustments due to previous year tariffs will be lesser. That is about 140 crores lower this quarter. Then consequent interest on differential tariff is also down by nearly 80 crores. So this is about 220 crores, which primarily explains the reduction in the profits. So last year, this first quarter, we had one-off events, nearly 500 crores, which has come down to 270 crores. And that is one reason, major reason for the reduction in the headline profit number. Otherwise, if you see the operational performance, it is better than last year, and overall, there is no fundamental change in the business as such. Our equity in the TBCB assets has now increased to 3,544 crores, and under construction it is about 350 crores. So roughly 4,000 crores of equity is deployed in the TBCB business. Next. Telecom performance, we have improved our overall telecom revenues to 191 crores. We are likely to cross, I think, 800 plus in the current year from telecom business. The business transfer agreement has been executed for hiving off the telecom business. So hopefully by the business 1st of October, we should see the entire telecom performing through the subsidiary PowerTel Services Limited. Next. Consultancy, as I mentioned, our revenues have come down primarily because in the Northeast, the project is coming to an end and therefore there is a significant reduction. We are attempting newer businesses. So we are taking up SCADA establishment for a couple of states, and then doing project execution for dedicated transmission lines for some of the hydro and renewable projects. So we are looking at other businesses to grow the consultancy revenue, but I think it will take year or two to again get to that level, because that was an assured income from the NERSIP business, which was for quite some time now. Next. Commercial performance, the first quarter realization has been about 82%. April, there was a one-off bill on the back of tariff orders received, so that has pushed down the realization to 82% in terms of billing realization. But thereafter, May and June, the realization has been more than 100%. So today we are at about 88% realization up to July 23. So we have an issue with Tamil Nadu regarding Raigar Pugalur recovery. So that is the one of the major reasons for this outstanding. Next. In terms of works in hand, today we have about 48,700 crores. Ongoing RTM are about 11,000 crores. TBCB 12,800 crores. This year we have targeted 8,800 capex initially, but this we will be looking to push up on the back of several projects we have received, as well as the metering and the solar projects which have been ordered. So I am very confident that this will be much more than 8,800 in the current financial year. Next. Outlook, if we look at next 9 years, that is the aligned to the 2030 target of 500 gigawatt or 50% from non-fossil fuels. We have made an estimate that there is an 1,88,000 crore investment for the company we will be doing. That is our estimate. In the transmission business, about 171,000 crores. In solar, smart metering infrastructure and data center businesses, I expect to do at least 100,000. So this will taper up the current numbers which we have. That is the estimate which we have here. Factors the total market opportunity and what is the share. So 188,000 crores is the share of investment which Power Grid hopes to make in the next, estimates to make in the next 9 years or so. And that is the reason the pipeline which is coming in the transmission, particularly for the RE integration, is a major source of confidence for us. A lot of projects have been approved or in the pipeline, and the flow for the bidding has also significantly increased. So I'll take a pause here and next. Yeah, I think one award, very important award, we got ATD award for the learning, the US based award, one of the 2 CPSUs and 17th among the 72 leading global companies. And we also, for our sustainability initiatives, we got the Global Prithvi Award. Thank you so much. I pause here and look forward to answering your questions.
Hi. So start with the Q&A now. Please raise your hand to ask questions. Request you to please restrict to 2 questions in the first round. Thank you.
Mohit, would you like to start the question till
Yes,
the question
yes.
queue assembles?
So I'll start with a few. Yes, there's. I think the one queue. Let's take him. Hi, Abhinit, please go ahead. Abhinit.
Yeah, just wanted to understand from the fact that you talked about capex increasing from 8,800. So for 24, what could that number be? And second question is that, sir, there is a large pipeline of TBCB projects as per 14th NCT. So are you factoring those numbers for 25? If you are saying assuming a 40-50% market share for yours.
Yeah. So in 24, we expect it to cross 10,000 crores capex this year, and 24, 25. When we have given you the 1,88,000 crore number for the next 10 years, that factors these projects which are coming up through the NCT and the government approvals.
But just trying to understand in terms of while this is a 8-9 year stuff that you talked about, in the interim, say 25, 26, will there be an increased capex and then it will come down because there is the government's plans are in terms of 500 gigawatts. So transmission lines should start getting auctioned and being built before that, right?
You're right. So it will not be like 25 or 26 all transmission will be built for that. The target is for 2030. So it will go maybe little ahead of the generation, but it will not be like 3 years ahead or 4 years ahead. So the capex will go. I mean, I don't see the capex coming down before 2030. It will only be an increasing trend.
Okay, so safe to assume from 10,000 will go to somewhere on 2025 because the average is coming as 21,000 crores, right?
Yeah, that is true.
And
Few
any
years
status of
few years it should cross 20 plus 20,000 crores like in the past.
and any status on Leh HVDC, sir?
That is still under government approval for the subsidy component.
Okay,
And
thank
we
you, sir.
will
Those
take
are
up
my
only
questions.
after the government approval is received. In between, the field study is going on. As I mentioned, I think I mentioned this in the last call also. The front-end engineering and design study that is going on, that is expected to be completed by January, February 24.
Okay, sir. And these two projects that we have won, sir, what is the project called broad numbers?
We have given the tariff, that's about 340 crores.
Okay, sir. Thanks a lot.
Bhavin, please go ahead. Bhavin.
Yep. Thank you for the opportunity. So I have three questions. First is during the IPO of the InvIT, in your media interactions, you had highlighted that there will be 18 additional projects of 22,500 crores which will be sold to the InvIT. We haven't seen any movement on that. So what is the status now and why the delay?
We said that is the pipeline which could be available, but post the national monetization pipeline, there has been a change in the stand. Now the guidelines require us not to transfer ownership but only rights to the cash flows. So we are adopting the securitization route rather than monetization through transfer to InvIT. So that is how assets are not going to the InvIT at present.
Okay. So it will be the case that Power Grid kind of holds to the majority all the TBCB assets. The InvIT will have to go and find the assets individually itself.
I won't talk for the InvIT, but I am talking as far as Power Grid is concerned. We are looking to raise funds at the optimal cost, and in terms of the government framework, asset transfer, ownership transfer is not kind of permitted. So if we do cash flow transfer, then to the InvIT route, it's not working out. There are tax implications and all in that structuring, which are value decretive to the shareholders. So we observed that the securitization route, raising debt on the strength of the TBCB cash flows, is compliant with the NMP framework and is also optimal fundraising for the power grid.
Second, if you could talk about the competitive landscape in the recent bids of TBCB.
Yeah, so we are observing that smaller ticket size, there are say less than 1,000 crores, there are 7-8 bids received. Larger ticket, say 2,000 plus 4-5 bids are received. Competition remains very intensive. There is no letdown in that.
So incrementally, we are seeing the size of the projects is rising, and then there are a couple of HVDC also. So what is your expectation of equity IRRs? Can we expect mid-teens or it's early double digits?
Mid-teens will be not there even in a regulated environment. So I think early double digits can be a fair assumption.
Great. Last question is, we are seeing a very tight supply chain on the equipment supply, especially globally. And we have seen increase in the prices also because US, Europe is going very strong on the HVDC and transmission. How is that impacting the supply chain and the pricing for us?
You are very right about supply chain constraints in the HVDC space. Due to the renewable energy integration in the West, there has been a significant spike in the HVDC and cable demand. So the timelines, we are finding a challenge to what has been asked in the NCT approvals or so. So we are taking up with the government that these timelines are not possible to adhere, given the supply chain constraints. As far as pricing is concerned, so since these are TBCB projects where we would like to have some understanding with the equipment manufacturers, so we would like to build that into our pricing. But still it will be a, because of this large size of the project and the variables which are there in terms of exchange rate variation, in terms of price escalation. So these are indeed challenges which need to be factored when we make our quote.
Just last question, if I may. I mean, the draft regulation will be there sometime in November, December, and final in Feb, March. What are your expectations for the regulated assets?
The discussion paper of the staff is out. I think yesterday we would have submitted our comments on it. From the discussion paper, though there have been several, alternatives proposed, there is a fair degree of emphasis on regulatory certainty, and there is also a suggestion to grandfather the provisions for existing assets, and any changes can be taken up for the new assets. So I think this is a good approach which was given in that paper, and what we would like to have is continuation, because as far as transmission tariffs are concerned, much of it is on normative basis, so there is not much to change. Maybe making it more easy to do other businesses will help. Say, for example, we have land at several locations. If that land can be better utilized for setting up solar or other, and that is simplified, it will help.
Yeah, thank you so much for taking my question.
Thank you, Bhavin. Next question is from the line of Anuj Upadhyay. Anuj, please go ahead.
Well, sir?
Anuj,
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Thanks for the opportunity. So the center had approved around 75,400 odd crores of power transmission projects under TBCB. Any timeline by when they would be out for a bidding, sir? Or
They are already bidding. Large numbers are already in bidding. No? Some 55,000 is under bidding right now.
55,000 crores, sir, right?
21,000 has been concluded. 55,000 is under bidding. Another 81,000 is to be floated by the BPCs. So the pipeline is pretty.
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. And so the trajectory which you provided on overall 1,71,000 crores of capex on the transmission space, you mentioned that probably FY24 and 25 we may see capex in the range of 10 to 12,000 crores. So would it be fair to assume that FY26 onward we may see 25,000 crores kind of a capex to be incurred at PGCI level, or it would be at a further, I mean, at a later date, sir, say for 27, 28 onwards? Any timeline which you can throw it would be helpful.
I think 25, 26 is a fair timeline to see that kind of stuff.
25 end.
25, 26, yes.
Okay, okay. That's fair, sir. That's it. Thanks for the opportunity.
thank you, Anuj. Next question is from the line of Puneet. Puneet, please go ahead.
Hello. Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much. My question is on your, 81,000 crore projects, which you said are likely to be floated and up for bidding. What kind of certainty can we assign that this will be up for bidding? Is it only a procedural matter, or does the government need to do more to, convert it into bidding?
Sorry, I couldn't get your question.
Sorry, the 81,000 crore project, which you said will be floated and up for bidding. Is it only a procedural matter that it gets converted into tenders, or are there further steps that the government needs to take to convert it into tenders?
No, these are, I won't say procedural level, these are schemes which have been identified. They will be, in fact, they will be floated by the BPC. So these have been approved by the NCT. But as per the requirement of the renewable energy projects, these will be implemented.
So what kind of timeline can we assume here for 81,000 crore?
I think for these to come to bid, maybe 1.5 years maximum.
Okay, maximum. And on your smart metering project, now that you've bid out everything, what kind of IRRs would you be looking at?
Yeah, here we can look for mid-teens.
Here it is. Okay, that's great. That's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Puneet. Next question is from the line of Nikhil Abhyankar. Nikhil, please go ahead. Nikhil, you can unmute your mic and speak.
Good morning, sir. Thanks for the opportunity. So a lot of states are coming up with intra-state opportunities. So what is the opportunity size over there in the medium term?
As we have shown in our presentation, we are looking to about 37,000 crores in the next 9-8 years.
And anything in the near term?
Intrastate is difficult to predict in terms of the flow pipeline. Interstate is much more forward-looking and action is there, but intra-state, because so many states are involved and each has its own pace of working, so it is difficult to project.
Okay. And sir, we have also projected capex of 15,000 crores for smart metering over the 9 years. So, what is the share of this Gujarat order over the next 2 years? And have we finalized any smart meter supplier for it?
Yeah, the vendors have been finalized. We are going to do 69 lakhs. That is the initial estimate for the numbers. And that has a capex of about 4,100 crores, 4,050 or so. So we look to increase more because this is part of the first 10 crore meters. Overall, the meter size is about 25 crore. So we look forward to increasing this market share, both through our own as well as through our joint venture ESL. They are also doing projects.
Understood. So, should we expect another 10,000 crores of capex towards smart metering in the next, say, 2 to 3 years?
Yeah, 2 to 3 years may be a little aggressive, but it will be next, say, 5 years.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thanks a lot. I'll join back in the queue.
Thank you, Nikhil. Next question is from the line of Swati. Swati, please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Thank you for taking my question. So, you indicated that you have a plan of 1,165 crore of capex for the interstate transmission. But in an earlier call, you indicated that the opportunity size for the next 10 years is around 1.9 trillion. So, are you assuming a 61% market share going forward in the interstate transmission?
Ma'am, your voice has not been clear. Can you be?
Swati, can you keep your phone aside? Is there any other device close to your laptop which is causing hindrance?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, better.
Yeah. So, you have indicated in your slides that there's a capex of 1.1 trillion planned for the next 10 years, whereas in an earlier call, you had indicated that the total opportunity size is 1.9 trillion in the interstate transmission. So, does that imply a 61% market share going ahead?
Not necessarily. Some will be RTM kind of projects which we expect to get. And also, definitely, we are right now around 50 plus 55, 57, depends on where you take the cut. So we look forward to definitely maintain, if not increase our market share. But it's not a very significant increase which we are projecting compared to where we are today.
All right, understood. And on the second one, the international projects that you're talking about, 7,500 crores. Um, can you elaborate on which countries you're looking at, and maybe if you can update on the Kenya 250 million and the Tanzania 400 million projects that you had spoken about?
So those are the two main ones we are looking at. Kenya, we are submitting the final proposal this week, this August. So we received the in-principle approval for the PPP project, and we are going to submit the development report, as they say, this month. Tanzania is at the still initial stages. Then we have been now sounded of an opportunity in Nigeria. So in the African continent, we are looking primarily through the Africa 50 Alliance opportunities. And then there is also the Katihar Parvatipur Bornagar line. So the Bangladesh portion of this will also be implemented to a joint venture. That is the discussion right now going on. Future interconnections with Nepal. The Nepalese portion also is envisaged to be taken up through joint ventures with the NEA, Nepal Electricity Authority. So these are some of the opportunity set which we are seriously evaluating at this point.
Understood. And just one last question. So, can you give a year-wise bifurcation of the 1.88 trillion capex that you have planned out for the next 10 years, if that's possible?
Ma'am, we are again not clear. We are.
Hello?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, sorry. So I was saying, can you give a year-wise bifurcation of the 1.88 trillion capex that you have outlined for the next 10 years, if that's possible?
Year-wise bifurcation till 23.
Year-wise bifurcation at this point we cannot give you because that is a function of the pipeline, how quickly we get, and that again will be depending on the pace of the RE project development. So at this point it will be difficult for me to give you year-wise breakup.
So I just wanted to understand, will it be more front-loaded or more back-loaded? Just, if you can.
It will be, as I mentioned to another question, from 25-26 onwards, there will be a significant increase in the pace.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Swati. Next question is from the line of Ashwini Sharma. Ashwini, please go ahead. Ashwini, you can unmute your line and speak. So we'll move on to the next question. Next question is from the line of Dhruv Muchal. Dhruv, please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Dhruv from HDFC. Sir, you mentioned that there are 55,000 crores of projects which are currently under bidding and 81,000 which will come up in the next 1 to 1.5 year. Probably there will be more given the run rate at which NCT is approving the projects. So, sir, your capex guidance that it will not cross beyond 20,000 crores, in that sense, looks a bit conservative, assuming 50-60% market share that you have typically got. So, just wanted.
Sorry, Dhruv, we are not able to hear you clearly. Yeah.
I'll try again, sir.
Speak a
Yeah.
little.
Yeah. So we have projects of about 55,000 crores which are currently under bidding.
Right.
And 81,000 which will come up in the next 1 to 1.5 year.
Right.
And probably there will be more given what NCLT is approving, the run rate at which NCLT is approving the projects. So my point was that 20,000 crores, the capex run rate that you have mentioned, over the next, say, that it will achieve over the next, say, in FY 26 or 27. Does that become a very conservative given typically you have got 50-60% market share in projects?
No, I won't say conservative. See, part of it stems from, say, for example, this year we have targeted 8,800 initially, but then this is definitely going to cross because there is now a larger set of projects under execution. Next year also it will be higher. So 25,000, by 25-26, as I mentioned, is a fair estimation. Because when the project is approved, you get nowadays about 2 years, and larger projects about 4 years to execute. The HVDC project, for example, will need 4 years to implement. So if you take a 24,000 crores, then it will only add 6,000 crores to the annual capex, and that too will be like second, third, fourth year there will be more capex. First year will go in design much. I think on an average, peak can be 25,000 crores. You will be somewhere around 17,500 to 22,000 crores. That is the kind of numbers one can estimate, or kind of rough ballpark kind of numbers.
So, given that a lot of projects are coming in a very short span, say in the next 1 to 3 years, is it fair to say that the opportunity to gather capture more market share is also higher because the number of executors are relatively low?
No, no, it is not. You will try to see how to capture the market share and all. That is a different issue. But even if we take, for example, having made all this assessment, we have given this number of, 1,16,000 crores as our capex for the interstate transmission. So if you take it over the next 9 years, it will come somewhere around 13,000 crores annually. So any project will be about what, 2 years it will. It will take 2 years to complete a project. Capex will be at least over 24 to 30 months. So I am not very confident that annual capex will exceed 25,000 crores.
Right. Got it, sir. Sure, sir. Thank you so much. That helps. Thanks.
Thank you, Dhruv. Next question is from the line of Vipul Kumar Shah. Vipul, please go ahead. Vipul, I've allowed your mic. You can unmute and speak. We'll move on to the next question, sir. It's from Puneet. Puneet, please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Thank you so much for the follow-up. On your guidance of 1,16,500 crore of interstate capex, what is the opportunity size that you assume?
The opportunity is the entire 500 gigawatt related transmission, which is planned. So that
And in terms
itself
of
is about 2,44,000 crores or so. That is the.
okay, so out of 2,44, 1,16,000 is your market share. Is how one should think about.
Out of 244, some has been already, started for implementation and so on. So roughly you can say that we have taken around 50% plus market share.
Okay. And you said this is dependent on the 500 gigawatt commissioning. So if that number were to get missed, is there a risk that the renewable capacity, the transmission capacity can also get deferred?
I think the entire government is committed to the 500 gigawatt, 50% non-fossil by 2030. So at this point, I will not subscribe to the view that, it can be missed. It will be 1 year ahead or 1 year later, that's all. But as such, there is no, risk to that target.
Understood. That's all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Puneet. Mohit, would you like to ask the questions in the chat?
There's some question in the chat, so I'll just start with the first one, which has come from Kondinia from JPM. The question is, if you can provide some color on the bidding timelines for the three HVDC projects.
For one project, Fatehpur Badla, the bid is already out and timelines have been given. I think the September is the target for, even selection of the bidder. The other projects we are yet to see, but hopefully in the next 6 months or so, we should see those also out in the market.
So the second question is from the chat box on the Raigad Paglur project. He is asking that we thought the receiver's issue was resolved post 4Q FY23. Can you please comment on the same?
The tariff has been, notified by the CERC under the CERC sharing regulations, which provide 30% of the tariff to be included as a national component distributed over all the discoms, and the rest 70% to be borne by the southern beneficiaries because it is meant for the southern region. Now, Tamil Nadu has taken up that this should be declared as a national asset. Entire 100% should be part of the national component. They are drawing reference to the Bisnath Chariali system, which was included as a national asset, and also to the fact that this system is now facilitating flow of renewable energy from southern region to western region. So the central government has recommended this to the CERC, the POSOCO, the Grid India and the CTU have also recommended because of the bidirectional flows. CERC went by the sharing regulations and ordered that the sharing should be 30-70 only. So agreed, Tamil Nadu has gone to APTEL when APTEL has remanded back this matter to the CERC in one element. I mean, there were 4 orders for the total Raigarh system, 4 elements, 4 orders were there. So one order has been remanded back to CERC. For the 3 other elements also, the hearing is tomorrow. More likely that they all will be remanded back to CERC. So the current position is that the tariff order has been set aside until the CERC decides afresh. Okay. Be that it so, I believe that the tariff as such will have to be paid, if not in this ratio, some other ratio. There will be some lag in collection, that's all.
The third question is on the CRC tariff regulation. The approach paper for the next control period speaks of differential and potentially lower tariffs. Can you help us understand the way discussions are going here and if there is any cut to the base ROE?
So the discussion paper, right, has the approach paper has talked of, a differential. Now differential can be that you make the other higher. There is no need to make one smaller to make the look bigger. So if you feel hydro, this has been done in the last tariff also, that hydro were given a little higher. If you feel that it is still not compensating the hydro, you need to give more, please do go ahead, no worries. But you don't have to cut for the transmission sector to make the other look big. I don't think cutting transmission tariff will no way increase the profits of the hydro investors. We have given our views and they, given the current interest regime and the construction risk profile with increasing ROW and all, the return which is there currently is a fair return in our view. Second, the approach paper also talks of grandfathering, that is the new regulations to apply to assets commissioned after the new regulations have come into force. So I think at this point of time, there is only some points for discussion. When the draft regulations come, there will be a little bit more clarity on the view of the commission. Because at this point, this is views of the staff. They are not the views of the commission. So in the transmission sector, I would not read too much into this approach paper in terms of reducing the rate of return or anything.
The last question comes from Barinder Vijayakumar from Spark Capital. The question is, what is the revenue model in smart metering? What is the initial cost to be incurred and then the cost per year during O&M and revenue per year during O&M? Also, what is the likely return or IRR in the smart metering investments?
The revenue model is that we will be paid per meter per month. So for the domestic or for HT and feeder meters, different rates are quoted, and we will be paid per meter per month by the DISCOM. Our payment to our vendors are in two parts. One part is for the meter as such, so it is linked to the installation and commissioning. And then we will be paying them per meter per month again for the O&M expenses. So it is a kind of turnkey that they also have to adhere in terms of the service level agreements and recoveries also. There is a fair degree of back-to-back arrangement. As far as investment is concerned, as I mentioned in the capex phase, we envisage to incur about 4,000 crores investment for the 69 lakh meters. The ROE expectation is mid-teens from this project. Sorry, Mohit, you are not audible. You
Yeah,
are
please check
muted,
the.
Mohit.
Yeah, hi. Yes, yes, sir. I think I reached to the end of the sir call. I don't think there's any further, queue. Sir, so thank you for thanks to the management for giving us the opportunity to host the call. So would you like to make any closing remarks?
Thank you so much. I think the business looks much more, robust and with a very strong pipeline approved and in bidding available. I think compared to where we were a year back, the situation is much more clear, and the processes for approval of projects have also been simplified. More delegation has been given to the NCT and the CTU. So business looks good. Operational performance has been strong. That is where I would like to conclude. Thank you so much for joining the call.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.